baby.
That will
never doubted. Yes.
spacepunies gets himself finally
Always get that shot.
a League Night Challenge point. Congratulations. Well done. You know who to bring me. Let's see how that pays off for him. Porsche Doppelkuchengetriebe. Porsche Doppelkuchengetriebe. Look at that! Look at that!
Drama.
Now things get complicated. Because first there was a refurbishment where they replaced the convertible deck lid cylinder, left rear window motor, door lock cylinders, door open switches, relays, power retractable antenna, weather stripping, and the seller notes that there was a tear on the soft top. Did he really say, I thought you were AI? My ears are trained to pick that up through the static.
That is not the way.
That's not where the course goes. Where are you going? What? But then they refurbished it, where they replaced the central steering link, dual master cylinder, proportioning valves, brake booster and check valve, front brake pads, real brake hose, cylinders, shoes, and hardware. The first ever multi-page cheat sheet on Bring a Trailer, and that was until they refurbished it.
We want to give people a flowing experience after the sawing back and forth of the wheel in Feature Race #1.
Do not overcook that turn right there. That's a full breakdown there.
Oh, yep, there they go. We're learning a lot about this track.
Everyone has a minor disaster trying to get back into the pits, where they replaced the headlamp and dimmer switches, turn signal and flash relays, ignition cylinder and key, door panels, teak wood veneer, carpets, trunk liners, and that was where it finally sat. Until they refurbished it, where they replaced the alternator and battery, distributor vacuum, advanced fan clutch, air filter.
I blew that confident. Oh my god, not all four of us, come on.
Little bit of contact.
And they're close enough they couldn't get
You just
traffic.
double wide. Oh my god.
It's the tightest on Laguna Seca I have ever seen 4 cars drive ever. Oh, he puts his nose in it. And he's clear. I agree with every word you just said, which is why this is so fucking awesome. $55,000 for the Continental convertible. For a Continental convertible that is not any longer the same Continental convertible. And maybe so, on to Feature Race 2. You guys want to set up, and I will talk about what we're doing. Ooh, is that what we're doing? Hold on a second. What have I done? Yep, alright, well. Duffy looking for the room to get this pass in, but eats the barrier. Tonight we race. We race. And that's the go word, which means let's do the pod quad
Let's not get black flagged in the pit lane.
and get us out of the middle here so we can start observing the madness that is the cold opener tonight.
I thought there would be a
great,
black
and by
flag,
great,
but
I mean,
I
I
think
hate it
everybody's
already.
playing nice.
I didn't realize that they were all in the same livery this evening. That is going to make this somewhat
Going Big
difficult.
B.
Let's go.
Oh,
Boys.
boy, Oberto.
Right in the front, A1. This is where I want to be.
Meat stick. Oh no, I have a hand, I
Here
have a
on
physical
the
handbrake.
Pod
but I
1
just learned
cam, I
not
noticed
math.
that we don't have
Oh,
a
no.
driver in the corner. What happened there?
We're on the different scene from the last
Who's
week's
doing the nose
spectator
bang on the
view.
front?
Oh, we can fix that between. We can fix that between. So it looks like we are already experiencing high drama here.
Well, Pod 4 looks like already back in the pits.
What is going on here?
Isn't this qualifying? Are we going to qualify?
Are we going to have pods by? Oh God!
That's
Back in front.
So we
my God,
we'd like to welcome Mr. Goat to
better be
the
allowed
session here
down.
tonight. Although we put his OBS instance on the wrong scene here, so you can't see pictures of the human. But I assure you, he's actually there. If you may recall, we were in spectator
inside
mode
line,
last
no,
week
sorry.
due to a last-minute injury. What is going on over here? Goals, are you okay?
I think so. This is just rallycross stuff.
Just rallycross. Our compound bounce, boing. Thus far, no one has been able to figure out how to. Oh God!
that's not where the apex is.
No one has been able to modulate their jumps in order to get all four wheels down on the end of it, as opposed to just the radiator in the intercooler and all the other things living under the
Oh my
chin.
god,
Oh
this race
God!
is gonna be so much fun.
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. Why'd we swap over there? Wrong button.
Totally fine.
Oh, I can feel that through the floor. Here we go for the next one. Boing. Oh, comes down uneven. You might ask why we're even bothering with a qualifier for something this absolutely unruly, and the answer is because it's traditional, and we are slaves to tradition here. 1 minute 23 remaining on this farce.
Oh, yeah, that is a hard landing on the nose.
That's a wall.
Wow.
Ejects safely back to the pit lane.
Safely back to the pit lane. No drivers or vehicles were harmed in the making of this cold opener. I love.
Yeah.
I love when you're on the lower inside section here, and you can see the upper outside section coming down the hill like a ski lift.
The fun that you will have in about 10 seconds.
It reminds you of the fragility of life. And jump number 1, jump number 2, and the one that no one can seem to land.
My
Oh,
formal request
God.
for Season 3 Rallycross.
Say that again, Goals.
Rallycross.
Under no circumstances are we doing Rallycross as an actual feature race. We are
Yeah, but
we
it
are
would be
literally
really fun.
evaporating warranty money.
It's not warranty money if you don't use it.
Okay, yeah.
Says the guy with a
Logic.
metal shop at home.
Somebody's got to keep me having a job someday.
Oh my god, this is so fun.
Oh, thank God.
This is such a hoot. Oh, that was you, Derek. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Well, I've got good news and bad news.
What a good time.
The good news is that that's over. The bad news is that it was
Wonderful.
just the qualifier. And now they have to do it for real.
Why would you all let me qualify?
Tell me I limited this to 10 minutes.
You set it up, not me.
Because I can't get a valid lap in.
It's
I'm having too
probably
much fun.
fine.
Object permanence is difficult for me on
What is
Wednesdays.
the definition of a valid lap on this?
Apparently, every time
Any lap you
I
walk away from.
every time you do the jump, it invalidates my lap. So it's like I think you can land too rough, and it goes that lap's invalid.
Have you considered not
I
landing too
definitely
rough?
have not had that problem. I have landed that jump extremely rough. And
All right, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in.
it's going to get brought in for, will be brought in for you.
That's not straight.
Do we want to fix
right.
the OBS thing real
Well,
quick?
yeah.
That just absolutely rules. Everything about that is
Yeah,
good.
Mr. Goat, hang on 1 second. We're gonna press a button for you.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty amazing.
I really enjoyed that ended with somebody rolling a car across the front street.
Hey, it's magic.
I'm gonna,
He is
I'm
a
gonna
real
conclude we
human
need,
that you
like,
can see with pictures and,
$10,000
and
VW
focus.
bus
Welcome,
with a
Mr.
big
Goat,
field
to your
somewhere.
first
Yeah,
Tonight We
this
Race
is-
local experience.
Oh, this is dangerous.
Fantastic to be here. Pull up a
This is it. This is the one that counts for, well, nothing, because we're
Dude,
not
look at
doing
this.
points for cold
All these
opens, but
beef sticks,
Pretend
these
points.
beefy boys
you can pretend that.
all the way in the back.
This now
is maybe
matters.
the safest place to be.
out here with the beef boys.
And one person who actually managed to
And
get better
one
story.
dad.
By
custom
unanimous
livery.
consent,
Didn't make the team.
All races
huh?
are standing start races.
Where are the start lights on this track physically?
I want to say maybe above that gantry, or maybe a man or
You know
woman
he's
in
used
swim
with it.
attire comes to the
T1
side,
effort.
waves a flag.
That seems unfortunate for a
We're-
dirt track.
We're in.
Excuse me.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Excuse me.
What?
Everything's fine.
Coming to you live from beautiful Sparks, Nevada.
That's the first, baby.
T1 complete safe.
I got knocked into the pit and then got black flag for leaving the pit. So.
I saw someone just
For aficionados of the previous
four-wheel
season of
bounced
Tonight
up
We
in the
Race,
air.
you may recall that on
I'll join your
maybe
guys'
the
accident.
second
That
or
was black
third
flag.
Saturday
I
of
do,
the
yeah.
show, we ran.
Okay, I'm
Me
fair.
too. I'm stuck in the
You
pits
have the
for
buttons
some
for
reason.
that.
You got the buttons, pal. You do it. Can you please assist him with clearing the black flag?
I don't know if I
well,
can.
put me
I'll have to take control of his race.
No, we do not want to safety check anyone here.
Well, I got stuck in a
What
gutter.
was I saying?
somehow.
Oh, right. We did this in the Phillips Oil micro trucks last season. I believe you were driving that road.
Yeah, that was a rough one, and that was cars that were more designed for this track.
They had much bigger suspensions, and I believe the one that we were driving at the time was also
Whatever clean means
rear
of
wheel
this
drive
racing
only.
class.
As a
Ah,
joke.
yes. Very
I'm
slidey.
still- I
These
thought
are
that's
all-wheel
flag.
drive, 600
Yeah,
foot-pound
they
of
don't
torque.
have
It's
the
kind of
command set
hilarious.
up to clear it.
Oh, no worries.
I'm just gonna watch the drama
Never
unfold.
happened.
Who's fun to watch here? Here we go.
Do an inquiry with the FIA afterwards.
The view from spacepunies Volkswagen Beetle
I want the
Light.
FAA too, given all the airtime. What's up?
There's no FAA anymore.
No one picked up the phone.
I mean, as is tradition for spacepunies, this looks pretty clean. But will he master the jump orientation? Up and nope. Oh, God.
It's still pointed forward.
I could feel it from here.
It's a legitimate strategy.
That was rude. We were having such a good race.
Oh no. Oh no.
Were we? Were we having such a good
Oh, sweet.
race?
Turn me back around straight.
Conan just did someone
Look to him
dirty.
again. He deserves it. He's a dirty driver.
In fairness, if he had been going faster, that wouldn't have been a problem.
I was. That's why he torpedoed me into the car.
I have a feeling this is the position we're gonna watch here for maybe the next, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. That's just a hunch, just a gut.
Give me a nudge.
Depends on how fast everybody gets
One of
through
these
this
is
corner.
turn one.
So bounce one, ooh. Bounce two. Bounce two's good. Bounce three.
You guys are doing turns?
Hey!
give a little
That was
nudge
pretty
to see how
smooth.
this goes.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
there's a car stopped ahead. There.
Yeah, it worked.
No, I did my duty, Derek. I flipped you back over.
How about that?
Oh, like a camel through the
Bonked
hive of
straight into the car again.
Teamwork.
Teamwork.
Probably saved a
Be
2-minute
car in
tow
turn
back
one,
to the
we
pits.
flip it.
In the gap between season 1 and season 2, I actually did a full cycle of rallycross in the VW Beetle Light, and like, you can look at this and be like, why aren't they doing X? Why aren't they doing Y? It's difficult to communicate how difficult it is to drive something on loose gravel with 600 foot-pounds of torque.
on what could be described as a
Sorry, you
quote
put your pin in
road
right next to
unquote.
the after a
What's
corner.
this?
People are gunning
On what
down
is a
into the pit.
national
That's
park
what
in
it is.
micro.
That's not really a...
It's probably,
Uh-oh. Ooh.
it's probably for the best we can't actually model 360 flips in haptics.
Yeah, so if you were watching, what is it? D-Box's Instagram. No, I'm sorry, Advanced Sim Racing's Instagram.
Uh-oh.
Because D-Box is now selling
where the track
at a
goes,
discount,
right?
or at least they were last month. Their
track
3-inch
goes
haptic
where you have the heart
actuator
to make
posts.
the track.
So we've got 1.5 from the Gen 5. These are Gen 3s. They were selling like the 3-inch travel haptics, and like
had
when
to
you're
crash
watching
the
a car
hard
operate on those, like this is like watching a spider like figure out, like it's a drunk spider figuring out what is up.
That's a lot.
It's arguably too much for any sort of retail environment, which is our aspiration here. But neither here nor there. Don't crash the bug. Oh, look at that! Look at the smoothness, look at the poise. Look at the turn entry.
I couldn't reach my e-brake button.
And down. Our newest local driver to the Tonight We Race scene, Mr. Goat.
Ooh. Kept a lot of
Rumor
speed
has
there.
it he's done this before. Rumor has it that this is a man that owns more than one pair of driving slippers. Some for special applications. Those are his stories to tell. But oh, look at that turn in. Not that one, the other one. How do we get back to Conan? And third jump. Ooh, look at that. So Conan, have you
Smooth.
figured out the secret of the jump?
I have figured out the secret of the jump. It is actually use the brakes.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what will save you here.
You brake all the way and then you slam on the gas.
The speed bump technique. Preload and pre-unload the suspension. There's a person over there that stopped.
Hey,
It's
no
probably
way, I'm
not good.
stuck. What the hell?
Do you know how
Someone
hard it
come
is
hit
to
me.
tow a car
Turn
on
two, I
a
guess,
dirt
whatever.
racetrack?
On my way.
I
I'm going as fast as I can.
I realize that there are some people that are super into this for the realism aspect of it. I don't
I'm
think
doing a
any of
pretty
us
sweet
want to watch
grind,
the
but
tow simulator,
kind of
race
high-sided.
control simulator 2025.
Yeah, probably not.
Like
Although
you-
I would play that.
The grand unified theory of simulation theory, where like
Really hope.
you play mining simulator to mine the bauxite
No, I
for
got towed back
Oh, yeah.
out to the
mill
pits, now I
simulator
gotta
to get
wait
the
for
aluminum extrusion, the
I
CNC
finally
simulator to
got
make
out
your
of
pods.
my
Exactly.
Now you've built a race car, so you race that in
Trying to pull you out
iRacing.
of purgatory, man.
Marshall Simulator 2025 to disqualify people. We got some
Only
tight
God
stuff
can
here on
pick you.
Pod 1. Look at that. I'm not sure if drifting is a thing when like 50% of the volume
I
by
have a
mass is
2-minute
dirt.
tow.
But ooh, ew. Oh no.
Dead.
Oh no.
Into the club.
What happened back there?
I went over the wall, and they do not like that.
Yeah,
They're
same
not
for me.
big fans of going over the wall.
Oh, that's funny. That's how I got disqualified for my first
They really
first
don't
race
like
on this.
pulling you out of hell.
They don't want you to go over the top.
No, the floor is lava. It turns
Sorry,
out.
Tom. I did that very
Pushed
poorly.
me into the
They
pits,
do
and now I
not
have to
care
exit
for
the
it.
pits.
I see you.
That's a pro strat, to be honest.
Trap says no points for longest jump. No, not in the
I
game, but
disagree
definitely
so
in my
much.
heart.
If we could measure it, I would totally give points.
iRacing doesn't seem like the kind of shop that would add like Tony Hawk stats to this sort of thing, but I would give people cash prizes for
My spotter's
kickflips.
telling me to watch my oil temperature. I'm stuck.
360.
What am I gonna do?
Just watch it, okay? Just keep your eye on it.
I think Conan's
To
still
be
in
fair,
tow
it is getting
purgatory
pretty
here.
high.
I could have.
There he
driven
is.
out of that.
36 seconds in tow purgatory.
remaining. Started at 2 minutes.
4,
Longer than a full lap of the
2,
track.
And then they have to fix the car.
Speaking of that, we've got 6 minutes and 20 seconds left until
Suck it,
this
Tony.
absolute hell is over and everybody can go home. Well, the drivers can go back to the green room, the pods can cool back down, and we can get on with the programming.
Mr. Goat, this is going to be a lot more interesting if you waited up like 9 seconds.
I mean, I can do some tricks off these jumps.
Sick
That's
flip.
also a reasonable choice.
Actually, I haven't even looked in at the standings. Do we actually have anything approaching? Looks like it's Pod 4 in the
Oh my
lead
god,
here.
now they're starting
Position
to
1,
service.
lap
I
10.
didn't want service.
Oh no, it's Mr. Goat in his cold open debut. A healthy first position with 11 ahead. Then
I've always heard you can't win the race in turn 1, but I totally did.
and that would explain Goal's earlier statement. He's hanging out here in position 2, but currently wheel to wheel. Marbles to marbles. No, I used to ask, isn't that enough rule? Oh, come on. Everybody survive that?
Tom, I know we're not racing, but I'm kind of racing you.
They gave me a
Is
black
that
flag
racing?
For entering the pit exit off of a jump.
In Rallycross, I think the rules are different.
Gentle touches.
Just watching the audio levels here, and even when everyone is being completely silent, the pods are just rattling the
Rumble, rumble.
rattling the audio. It's very noisy down here.
I don't think I'm clear on the right, you
4
fucker.
minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Mr. Goat carrying an 8.5 second lead over Pod 3,
Cards upside down
which is
in that
Goals.
corner.
I need a nudge. Oh my god, who's a good Samaritan? Harder, daddy.
He's trying to get
I'm
that time
stuck.
back. I don't know if he's going to get there.
No! I'm stuck on the wall! We'll fix you. We can fix him. You
Going in the
fucking
wrecking
legend,
ball,
Tom!
wanting to fix problems.
I can fix him.
Who did I just save?
Oh
there?
god.
Is that Mike?
Oh no, you're on the rail?
Yeah.
Like leaning over the wall there, champ.
Put me in the pits. Thanks for trying. Oh no. Now I'm at a minute 30 towing. Yeah, I had a 1 minute and 40-second tow too.
Yeah, I tried to straighten you back out. It didn't work.
It's all good. That happened on the lap 1. I got bounced over at the top of the hill and it did this to me. Right at the start. Work my way up
Space
fourth.
Peonies in the 7 position. 3 minutes on the clock. And an aggressive lean in on that drift. Where's the drama?
Oh my god, these cars are great.
I think the drama is still Goals hunting those couple of seconds here. 4 seconds doesn't sound like a
cars
lot,
are
but
great.
these laps are actually very tiny.
Didn't I have an 8-second lead a minute ago?
Yeah, I tried to fix somebody, and I paid for it dearly.
Oh yeah, no, it's 20 seconds now. I think the party's probably over for Goals.
Need to get my relative up.
Still plenty of time to miss a turn and get your car wedged in a fence and have to get towed.
Yeah, or go over the side into the what we have discovered are 2 rock quarries abutting either end of this
I really
racetrack.
like that the
Yeah,
safety
you could
car-
probably jump straight in at the speeds we're going.
I just tried to do like a reverse spin around thing where you flap it in
I
reverse.
suppose we shouldn't drop all the fun flavor text
I
so
did a
soon,
full
right?
flip is what I'm trying to say.
Oh no, sir! Right into the Geico sign. Do you realize how ironic that is?
And just to add fucking, just to add salt to the wound, they're like, now we're.
That's
gonna
okay. We know
service
Geico doesn't cover this kind of shit.
Yeah, no, I was so mad when they started servicing the car after my tow. Like, what were you doing while we were getting towed?
Right into the
No,
Lockton sign.
30-second penalty. man not suffered enough?
Big
I
jumps.
wonder what I did to get the penalty.
Goals here with a view of Conan up front.
Oh, I got an unsafe pit
Ooh.
entrance earlier.
Oh, does not stick the landing. Oh, no. Sir, do not go
Running
over that
bounced
fence.
into the pit.
That makes sense.
They will never forgive you.
That was me too.
I was going to complain to the marshals about that. I did find that incredibly unsafe.
That's hilarious.
Can you believe they let spectators on this track?
No, absolutely not.
I invite you for the remaining 1 minute of this race. Look at all the place where grandstands go.
That's also where cars go. How's it going, Conan?
Hey, Cars and Coffees.
Not
Thanks
great.
for swinging by. Really
Not great,
appreciate it.
Bob. Where's
Yeah,
that
let's
part?
we can chat in a dead moment or offline. We did some neat surgery to make this possible. That's your party trick is vertical. My party trick is way too much network bandwidth. There's something approaching it. Oh, Jesus Christ, Space Beans. blessedly receiving the white flag. Oof. Are you done? Are you done with your session?
I've done great. I've parked my car.
Welcome back. Thank you. That's
Great-
not
great
you-
parking.
You can't park there.
I literally can't.
God damn it.
Oh, now I found the wiper button.
Oh my goodness. Oh well,
You have
welcome
to buy
back.
me dinner
Welcome back from
first.
vacation. I took from our last conversation. I took
Oh,
your
man.
advice regarding the vertical, and so just for shits, we've been throwing up either like just a quick pre-race interview or a quick walk-around interview while we're working on stuff around the session.
Great
You
job.
know,
You did really
400
well.
views in 24 hours
I nailed
versus 8
somebody
views in
into turn 2 and
72
it
hours.
sent
It
me
is.
over the
We live in a
fence, and now I'm
vertical
getting
world
it 2
now, and
minutes
old gray hairs like me need to adapt or spend more money on promotion.
What a hoot.
Or both.
Oh my God.
Okay, are they through? Did they get it? Is Mr. Goat taking his victory lap here? Oh, God. So glad we're paying with car damage off. Just.
That wasn't a showcase of my talent.
All right, let's get everybody out of their death
Minus the
chairs
jump.
and back to the green room, and we can start the actual programming for the night. Thank you, everyone, for participating in the cold open. We do not do off-road races on Tonight We Race for reasons, and one of them is I just heard $25,000 evaporate in hydraulic smoke behind me. So let's
Totally fine.
get into the actual thing. What are we doing here? So what you just saw was the VW Beetle Light, and you might ask, why is it called the Light? And the answer is because as opposed to doing something sane or rational, like putting a torque limiter on it or some kind of restrictor plate, they do not. Instead, it still carries its 600 newton meters, or excuse me, foot-pounds of torque, and they've put a rev limiter on it at 4,000 RPMs. Could you boop the door, Conan? Thank you. They are very excited back there. I put the tripod up in the green room as a threat to start recording the green room as part of the show. I think it would be kind of hilarious. But
I think it would be pretty funny.
But I don't know. People are different when they know the camera's on them versus when they know the camera's not on them. So maybe we'll see. Anyway, so that's the VW Beetle Light. I rallycrossed the Beetle Light on Charlotte in between seasons 1 and 2. There is absolutely nothing easy about rallycrossing in general or the Beetle in specific. And we took our Beetles to the Wild West Motorsport Park, which showed, I understand, you've been doing some research on.
Well, we jointly did a bit of Googling yesterday, trying to find where this track is, and Sparks, Nevada was about as far as we got because the rest of the web pages we found indicated that it had closed already.
In 2021, they shut this down for reasons that we couldn't actually figure out. But we did a little bit of further digging and did some satellite Googling, and we found out that basically all of Wild West Motorsport Park is surrounded by actual active rock quarries. And the land is now under some sort of development use. And so while at least as recently as January, the track is still actually there and you can still see everything set up. All the stands are taken down. It is no longer active, which is a shame because like this is just straight up out of frickin' like Colin McRae, like super off-road. What was the name of the guy at the super off-road arcade machine? Anyway, great stuff. On Tonight We Race, we want to bring you some aspects of simulation that you may not necessarily normally get to see in your day-to-day, which is why we've, of course, assembled these racing pods and we put on a show here. And we're really glad that you could tune in. This is just a brief moment to call out that if you would like to race on the show as one of our remote drivers, we would, of course, love to have you in the Discord and have you in one of our month-long seasons. So let's talk about the news.
The news.
The first news is actually a shout out tonight to RaceLab, who has been exceptionally generous with us in figuring out the confines of using these in a commercial context, which is for better or worse what this is, and also very, very generous around making sure that we got all the billing stuff locked down correctly. So shout out to RaceLab. Thank you very much. We love your software, and for a bunch of guys who are used to racing AC mostly, where they get built-in radar or whatnot, being able to bolt that on has basically made them stop complaining to me every night, and that is worth its weight in gold. Moving on. So another cool thing, let me get my butt out of the way here. Discovered a new news blog called Fuel Arc over the course of the week, and we actually got a hold of them and said, hey, y'all, would you mind if we used your articles here and your photography and your likeness when we're doing our news segment? And they said, awesome, thanks, give us a plug. And so that's exactly what we're doing here. So tonight's story comes to you via Fuel Arc, and the story is that the Ford Bronco wins the stock class at King of Hammers 2025.
King of what?
Hammers. Which...
What? Say what?
Okay, so...
Sir, it's a car, not a hammer.
You might be familiar with the Rubicon Trail or Dakar or a bunch of other places that are really meant to make off-road vehicles kind of show their stuff. And the King of Hammers is just such a race. It's an approximately 4-hour race depending on what class you're in. And this takes anything from stock vehicles all the way up through unlimited, hyper-customized. Do you remember when we were out off-roading in Tahuya and like we were in the really rough parts of it? And
oh, yeah.
Like, these Toyota Tacomas and their suspensions just kind of go like this. And you're like, what? It's like an insect sliding over the hills.
Yeah, that's not at the dealership.
No, but that's unlimited.
Okay.
But
so maybe that's them.
But the Bronco won the stock class, which means it beat the Jeep, which is a real big fucking deal because the Jeep has been like the benchmark of off-roading capability for literally forever. And if you look at some of the imagery available here, you can obviously see that Ford was benchmarking the Bronco benchmarking the Jeep when they put this together. Like, here's the thing, dude. Now that the Bronco has proven that it can eat the Jeep's lunch in the Jeep's home turf, Jeep's got nothing left because the interior comfort is worse.
Yeah.
The infotainment system is worse. The steering is drastically worse. Recirculating ball system, like, I've got a Ruby sitting out in the lot and like above 60 miles an hour, it's like being in an 80-mile-an-hour wind. You're like,
yeah.
And plus the Stellantis group, they got that going for them. So like this is a huge deal for Ford, and maybe you're not getting another Jeep.
Do they have the ecosystem?
Like Quadratech and all like the ridiculous quantities of aftermarket parts dealers.
Yeah,
they
endless.
They will. They absolutely will. So that's the news for tonight. Let's introduce our drivers real quick. And joining us for the first time in the studio in pod number 1 is Mr. Goat, who is sitting in the cockpit of a very special Ferrari. And you can see from his facial expression that either he's enjoying himself or something else is going on here. We'll let him tell that story. Pod 2, fresh back from his Bjork concert, is spacepunies, also returning from Season 1. And Pods 3 and Pods 4, forgetting briefly that they are motorcycle drivers, are Goals and Conan. All of our drivers are in contention for the Cup for this season. And let's talk about the standings real quick. So, points. And as you can see, BlueFlag is actually far out in front of the series after Feature Race 1 and Feature Race 2 last week. For the local drivers, it's a fight between spacepunies and Conan, 2 points between them. Notably, spacepunies got the challenge point last week and Conan did not, and so that's got him pissed off because he's in some sort of rivalry with Dr. Gould, and that 1 point made an awful lot of difference. I understand that BlueFlag was having technical difficulty with his viewport tonight in VR, and I actually don't know if he managed to fix that by the time of Feature Race 1, and so it's very possible that the first position might go somewhere else tonight. You never know. And on that note, let's talk about Feature Race 1 because it's about time to get that rolling. Is everybody? It's like everybody is potted in practice mode, so that's great. As is the through line of all of Season 2, we are in the Super Formula SF23, which is a recent revision to the Super Formula series, the most recent one before that being 2019. The Super Formula is commonly considered to be a Formula-style car between a Formula 1 and a Formula 2 in terms of performance, or at least in terms of lap time in the places where all of them run together. And since lap time is performance in this context, there you go. One of my favorite things about the SF23 on the tracks that we are racing them is its incredible aerodynamics and the fact that it does a lot of that with ground effect, and the fact that you produce so much downforce at speed that you can brake harder than the rest of the chassis will allow, but you lose so much downforce as you slow down that quickly, you have to progressively get off the brakes just as fast. And you're actually, now that we're doing the input telemetry trapping, you're going to see that when people lock up or don't lock up. Because again, no nannies on these, no anti-locks, no traction control. You're going to see people have to do that dance in order to stay alive, which is pretty cool. And we are taking the 23s to Fuji International. Tell me all about it.
Fuji International, built in the 1960s, is a FIA Grade 1 track, which is actually pretty cool because then we can see all of the different best lap times from all of the different classes on it.
Which I believe you pulled.
I did, but spoilers. Interestingly, it has hosted a lot of the, everything up to F1, which is pretty great because then we can stare at the F1 record, which is 118.
Which is a number that none of these guys should be able to meet in these cars, full stop.
Which you would say, yeah, right. But the Super Formula also had some best lap times on this of 121, so only 3 seconds behind on F1 record. It's pretty wild.
Is there a Formula 2 record on this track?
There is, but I didn't pull it.
Fair enough. Okay, so we know that the Formula, the Super Formulas are about 3 seconds off pace from Formula 1 here, and While our drivers are quite heroic, we're not expecting any beat the real lap records here, but you never know.
Sure. The other interesting thing is you notice that very long straight, which is one of the longest straights in motocross racing, with 1.4 miles. So that'll be a lot of fun to see how fast they get on.
I think they've been in practice here for long enough. Do you think it's time to advance them?
Let's rip it.
Minis!
All right. Conan, make it happen.
That's what I'm driving on.
You can see.
I am still yet
You
to
can see the
complete a
trepidation here.
single
He does
actual
not
lap
want
to my
this.
mechanical.
He does not want to advance this. That's
I've
okay.
never done one full session of this track.
It's going to be great.
One full
You know,
lap.
now that we don't have the dedicated spectator pod, I'm kind of missing it.
Well, we could.
I just don't want to. I don't want to put another computer up front here.
Wow, that was a scrappy
I
session.
feel like
Yeah, it's gonna be real interesting. Good
I
job.
feel like
though,
we
Tom.
are absolutely
I think
surrounded
it's-
by computers. We kicked
I
off
think
season
it's
1
tough
in the
around
late
this
fall
track
last
with
year. We
other
did our
people.
dev work in the late summer.
The final third is
5
to go
fucking
that slow.
4080 supers cranking out nonstop
and
in the middle of the
especially
summer
if,
is
like,
not a great thing. My little
someone's on an
knee
outlap.
splits on the wall there.
Hot lap,
Yeah.
something like that.
All right, we're in qualifier, and for this group, this one matters. Let's get out of the way and see what's
Yes.
going on here.
Yeah, to front it.
Cars
Only
and
get
Coffee
one
says he also went to a Jeep, from a Jeep to a Bronco. That's
You only
really
get
good to
one?
hear, dude,
You only get
because
one flyer.
I've still never actually completed one full lap of this track.
I love my Rubicon. I do. I've never really
As soon
been
as we
like
got into practice, I pressed
in
down
the
on
Jeep
throttle and
culture,
two of the screws
if
came
that
out
makes
of it.
any sense. It was a compromised vehicle that I got under very, very specific
Oh, no.
circumstances. Like all sorts of crazy stuff going on in my life. That's the vehicle
Like
that
it
made the
just
most
been out-
sense. It was the
out on
utter
the
opposite
outlet.
of the GT3 that was my daily. And so, like, I love it. It
There's a
got us
pickup
through some
truck
really
on the
rough
inside of,
times.
like,
It got us through
D4
some
or
really
5 or
rough
something
roads.
that I think is an upcoming
But
car.
Jesus Christ, you just cannot take the thing past 60 on the highway, or you are at risk of your life. It's absolutely nuts. Also, my dogs don't like it, and that is, believe it or not, a more serious problem than you might otherwise expect.
Yeah, I feel like it has one job now.
It
dogs.
really is the dog sled. Well, I mean, we haven't been out to Tahuya now, what, in like 2 years? So we're kind of...
I mean, fair, but was that I take the dog to do?
Oh, God, no, absolutely not. Like, I would do that again. I really like off-roading it. I just don't like the 3 hours of lifted inspection you have to do to it every time you do that. I suppose you could pay someone to perform the inspection. Also, we got high-centered last time, and that was an adventure. But we've got that on video. We'll talk about that some other time. It's real racing on pod... What? There we go, pod 1.
Oh, here's that straight.
Yep. Hitting the straight in his first real quali lap. You can see the brakes. Very smooth. Mr. Goat comes to us
there
on
goes my lap.
a recommendation from one of our other remote drivers, and we found out during warm-up that he probably has more iRacing experience than most of us combined, so that's a fun thing to watch.
Nice and smooth is what I see.
It's not really dipping into the curbs, which, for the record, I do not recommend in this car, because so much of its downforce is produced by ground effect, and if you change the plane of that lower surface, you are just asking for trouble. Yeah, there was a right-hand turn there that we wanted everybody to take. Cars and Coffee, do you have does the Bronco? I think I saw this on a picture. Is there a ramp, like a tailgate ramp that you can slide out, or is that like an aftermarket thing? Because I think if there was a tailgate ramp, the dogs would be like, "Oh God, yes, we love the Bronco."
A variety of vegetables.
They don't speak, obviously. They're dogs. There's dramatization.
Oh my God.
My lap.
This lap will still count.
That Space Punies coming in with a checkered flag. Looks like he clocked a 1:35 leading into there. We give them 10 minutes to get the job done on feature race.
Yes.
Yep.
That's looks like a 1:29.5 there. Am I reading that right? That's ouch.
Mm-hmm.
1:28.5.
So apparently you can invalidate a lap if it goes sideways.
Unlike
and
the
you
cold
stay on
opens, the
track.
drivers do get the racing schedule 2 weeks ahead of the season opener, and so there may also be practice differential here.
Safety hit, that little green thing will invalidate your lap.
Oh, dang, nice quality. All right, well, I think
4 of us qualified.
it's gonna be.
Yeah, I've got one hound that loves the challenge
That's
of
my
jumping
first
directly
ever
into the
lap
bed, and
around
another
this
one
track.
that's like, no, you can carry me, thank you.
Congratulations. How'd you do? How'd you feel?
You did really good. I'm the only person in the session that never completed a clean lap.
That's unfortunate. Looks like we got a spread of about 3 minutes,
Looks like
or
there's
say
5
3 minutes. 3 seconds.
Yeah, but they put
What's
up a lap
going
in
on here?
practice.
Fair.
Look at
Good
some
luck.
times here. 27s, 29. Oh, it's a good turn in from Yelmel there on the 29. Yeah,
One
this is
lap.
gonna be interesting.
That's all it takes, baby. He's gotta crash into your biggest opponent in the first lap, and then recover cleaner than they did.
Just a quick reminder to everybody coming into turn 1 that if you wait to see your opponent's brake lights before
It's
you
already
get on the
too
brakes,
late.
you've already crashed into them. You just haven't noticed it yet.
do they
you
have
to be
brake
on
lights?
the brakes before the
don't
person in front of you is
think
on the brakes.
so.
I don't think the
That's a-
SF23 has
Yeah,
brake
your
lights.
brakes are cold.
But also, it's the marching band effect, right?
Brakes are cold.
Isn't there?
tires are
Isn't there?
cold.
No, I'm thinking of the actual Formula car. Okay. Well, brake
Actual
earlier
Formula,
than you
Formula
think.
cars don't have brakes.
Conan, you can go ahead and hit the button. I think it's doing its.
They flash. when
You
they
don't
do
technically
that.
have to,
Yeah,
but
battery
it's
recovery.
a goddamn mystery. Yeah, just rain lights.
These pod pedals require you to stand on them.
Well, so the that's from Pod 1 here. The clutch and the accelerator are obviously just clutch and accelerator, although differing hydraulics. As I mentioned this morning in the safety briefing, or this evening, 150 pounds for full actuation of the brake pedal. We can tune that.
Good luck, boys.
Oh boy, I feel like this is gonna be the
All right,
run to
folks.
T1 that's gonna kill me.
Safety, love, peace, and we're gonna watch from the drama spot, which looks like Pod 2. Oh yeah, no, this is where we want to watch this from.
Not red.
Yeah, they have a bit of a straight before they get to the first turn. It's gonna be great.
This looks okay-ish.
Put it in fourth.
Nice start.
I think they're all alive.
Until now.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, that's one off.
He found the hot dog stand.
They'll just bring them to you at the pit.
Now I gotta pass all of you.
I always find it interesting who chooses to delete the halo and who does not.
Oh, you don't have to brake for that turn. Not like that.
Something about the obstructions in our lives. What a beautiful track.
When there's
Just
someone
look
in
at
front
that.
of me, I kind of have to.
It's just,
Mount Fuji.
Random big mountain in the corner. No big deal. Just Fuji. Do you think they named the racetrack after the mountain?
Nah.
I'm gonna be coming hot on your inside here.
You love to hear it.
Oh, maybe not.
Coming at you hot on
We've
your
got
inside,
some
and a little bit down your
non-standard
leg.
lines through this segment here.
Continuing my lap 1 folly.
No.
On the inside here, I'm not in control.
Oh my
Fine.
goodness.
That's fine.
That was a clench.
The radar only said yellow. We're good.
These are really generous runoffs, and they say you're a rebel. They say you don't follow the rules. Gentle.
Still got my
re-entry.
handbrake balance. That'll come in handy here. The SF23 is a carbon ceramic handbrake.
Oh wow, there's a lot of gravel there.
And that gravel's now on the track. Thanks.
Channel your cold open skills.
Channeling as hard as I can.
One of the pieces of development work we did before locking in the SF23 as our chosen vehicle for this season was seeing how nicely it played at 20 Newton meters of force on the wheels. Turns out it peaks basically at 15, so we just left that right here.
I really don't know what it is about racing that I can't.
Obviously, everyone
put in a
here
lap.
signed to safety briefing and all that kind of stuff, but we would really prefer not actually hurting our drivers.
Too hard.
Some of them
I'm not
we
even
like.
trying hard. I'm trying very, very gently, and I'm still spinning off.
Look at that speed through there.
I do most of my on the gas in fourth coming out of these corners to avoid the spins.
Uh-oh, that looks like... Well, would be all of a
you
front
can
wing
kinda
if
drive
damage
these
was
cars like
enabled, but...
like it's wet out.
It's a bit of an incident. A kerfuffle. Let's get a speed check on this straight. Buck 40. Buck 60. Buck
Hey, Tom,
70.
I'm gonna break early, buddy.
The taunting begins.
Buck 80. I don't know what downforce configuration Space Punies wound up choosing here, so...
184 was the highest number on there.
Space Punies, how much downforce you dial in on that bad boy? The highest downforce available and still pulling 184. Every of the downforce. Conan in a little bit of a fist fight here.
Never mind.
finds the generous torque available on the turbo inline 4.
My pit guy's talking shit about someone.
Probably me
He's
again.
going to have a little bit of work to do.
Hateful little car.
No, again? Same spot? That's my move.
Yeah, that corner is the.
No, no, no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Sir, we're being targeted. Sir, it's on a collision course. These guys, Super Formula drivers have track insurance, right? Like their team, they don't have to pay like deductibles or anything, right? They're probably fine.
I would not insure this. Are you kidding me?
I don't need to be an actuary to tell you. Oh my goodness. And that takes everybody out of the drama zone for the 4 pods that we have direct views on. I don't know, could we fit another desk over here to get the other get the other race qualified pod operational? We could.
I mean, we ran the account on this machine before.
It's just so like actually running iRacing in spectator mode while running all the audio, the visual, the stream management, and the deck wear just seems like, well, I don't know. You did it. I didn't. You tell me.
It was a lot. You basically need a dedicated person to finding the shots, though.
I want a dedicated camera engineer sitting right over there with another machine with iRacing Spectator, and we'll give them a teleport port right into one of the views. And they can light a road flare when they want me to switch the camera to them.
Pretty easy.
Coming for you, Ted.
Maybe not a
Oh my
road
God,
flare.
I can't believe it's 15 minutes.
Maybe they can just wave or tap me on the shoulder or
on the
something.
track already.
Yeah, circulation in this room isn't.
Track is stressful.
It's a lot.
Dogs, dogs, dogs. One of life's great unsung joys. Unless you know dog owners, in which case it's a very sung joy. Mine are upstairs and begin howling if we get too aggressive on the haptics, which is kind of cool. Infrasound.
It just sounds like neighbors telling us to quiet down.
Oh, let's do the walkthrough. All right, so we've got some tight laps coming in here, and that's just. I knew we should increase the font on that. That's just small enough. It looks like Dr. Gould is turning in the good stuff here, and Knox, Michael Carr, is also turning in some hot laps. Mr. Goat just turned in a $130. spacepunies just turned in a $128. Goals with a 126 and starting to catch up to Ted Carter. Am I reading that right? I mean, I guess...
I'm so sweaty.
Double, am I reading that right? I guess BlueFlag got his rig back together?
I mean, that's what the numbers say.
I would love to hear the story of how he went from, oh shit, I can't join you, to winning the race like 15 minutes later. A tale for another time. Hell, we had a wheel-based clutch go bad with 45 minutes left of the show, and I was honestly considering whether I should sell my house and move to Alaska. People deal with stress in different ways. Yes, Derek. Yes, he did.
125.9 fastest
Wait,
lap.
what? Here?
It was just a pop-up.
Oh, God.
And you push a little bit. And
We're experimenting with a slightly different setup tonight.
It's like there's like
normally
a
we
smooth
do all
zone, and
of
then
the
there's like,
stream
okay, I'll break a
control
little
from
bit
up
deeper,
front
and
on
they're
an
just
XL
like,
Stream
"Yeah,
Deck. We also
crash,
have
nerd."
a handheld unit tonight, which I am transferring all of my body heat into, which is kind of weird for
It's
the,
true. It's like
the critical
it's
rapid
not about
changes.
pushing
It's working
these
out
cars to
okay.
go faster. It's about being smoother to go faster.
Patience.
For
with
the
these,
utter
absolutely.
extreme in stream management and strange devices and USB overloading, I recommend a Twitch streamer called the Sushi Dragon.
Ooh, nice
Does
laugh.
anybody know the Sushi Dragon?
No?
No?
No.
Oh my goodness. You are in for a treat. It's difficult to describe what he actually does beyond quite possibly the most technologically challenging and complicated live stream management I have ever seen in my life. I can't even describe it. Go watch the Sushi Dragon.
sometimes feel like iRacing's making fun of me. Like, I cut a corner, you gotta give up time. I don't change the way I drive and the time goes away. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it is
New
it is
fastest
humiliating when you're just like flat out and it's like, okay, thank you
And
for
that looks
serving
like
your
a
penalty. And you're like,
129.7. Am I
but I
reading
was
that right?
driving.
Yeah, that would be the last.
127.1, 126.1, 126.8. So honestly, we should be watching from here because I think this is the fight of the night.
Smooth.
Well, Ben, if we don't do this on the end of a straight, we're both going to hate how this happens, I think.
I hope you both hate how this happens because I am 10 seconds behind you. I need about 10 seconds of hate between the brothers. I believe in both
Very
of you.
nice. Contracts that just a little. Feels like he picked up like 0.2 right there.
Every time, every time.
Strange things happening over in the Mr. Goats arena. We're going to stay focused on this drama for the moment, though. Mount Fuji sliding by in the background. Which I do feel reasonably confident now they named the course after that. That just makes a lot of sense.
Still maintaining that half-second lead over previous lap?
Yeah, no, he's fucking flying is what's happening here. And a better break, too. Oh, he just manages to blow the chicane there. That's going to eat into his margin there. Still with a predicted 125, that is absolutely nothing to sneeze at. Just a little aggressive through there. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. He's hungry. I can see it. He's hungry. He's pushing
Well
hard.
done, Ted. Keep it together. Doing great.
What you doing back there, Derek?
That's not what I want. That's what I want.
Dun.
Little progressive braking. I feel like there are reserves of braking on these cars at speed that are not being used here by everyone.
What a whole tension let down when he's finally spin out.
Let's go. Let's go watch this here. So this is what I want to see. The man who in episode 1 showed no fear, infinite courage.
Oh. Mike, I apologize for nothing.
Derek, it's not my favorite for 2 reasons. Hold on, I want to watch this here. Watch the brake indicator. This is what I want to see. Big brake and brings it back down. Oh, look at that.
There you are.
Annie's car.
That's the stuff.
Thank you.
Reason number 1, it's not Suzuka. And I realize that's very unfair. Not every track can be Suzuka. But, like, if you're looking at the 2 big Japanese Formula 1 tracks,
It feels like it doesn't make sense when they
Suzuka's just fucking magical.
Yeah.
And the second is
Changed, right?
there's
We
a
both
lot
got our
of,
flow broken,
when you're at
and you got
Formula
close
car
to me all of a
height,
sudden,
there's just
and
a
then,
lot of,
you do it in
like,
slightly
I'm not
different
100% certain what's around this corner type stuff if you don't have the track memorized, and that can be tough.
Come by someone.
These cars give no quarter.
spacepunies holding position here. We're gonna
Nice work, Derek.
I'm gonna swap back to Goals here, who is still on the hunt for Ted. About 7.5 seconds out.
God.
I need
what
a literal rag to
laugh.
wipe the sweat out of my eyes.
Wristbands back, baby.
Let's see who's got the full lap telemetry up here.
I fear this might be a swap and slides kind of race.
126.2, 126.1. Ooh, Conan eating some curbs. He's a growing boy. He needs the nutrition. Suzuka is more fun. That's gonna be the through line of the entire season. Like, no, it's a great course and all, but Suzuka's more fun.
But have you considered Wild West?
God. Big brakes, could be bigger brakes. Nice through that sweep. That's solid. Letting all that downforce work. It is still.
Oh my God, Ben, get back here.
No.
Oh, well, in that case.
Oh, has Conan caught up? Uh-oh.
I got a first place.
Overtake on.
Oh, he's hit the button. We didn't even talk about the overtake.
188.
That's this is his first 10 seconds of overtake burning on there. So the Super Formula 23 has an overtake reserve, which consists of 200 seconds worth of 5% increased fuel flow into the engine, which doesn't sound like a lot, but on a 1 kilometer straight, being 5% more powerful than everyone else at that moment is kind of a big deal. There are some restrictions into how it's used. The first restriction is that you can only use it for 100 seconds at a time. And the second restriction is that once you turn it back off, whether voluntarily or being forced to, it has a 100-second cooldown. And so
Did I touch you?
you can't just
Michael?
flip it on for straights and flip it off for corners. And like for an actual full Formula One sized race or a Super Formula sized race, 200 seconds isn't a ton, but for a 20-minute sprint race like we're doing here, 200 seconds is a lot of slack to play with. For instance, Conan can't use it here on this big straight because he's in his mandatory cooldown.
He earned it.
So we saw last time when he came out of this,
Glad I
it was
could help him achieve his goals.
188 miles per hour by the end of this.
Oh, Conan was?
Yeah, with the overtake on.
Ah. And like, as you know, track position is area under the curve of your velocity, and like being 3 miles an hour faster over 10 seconds is kind of a big deal in terms of position. This was, of course, all done to make more overtaking possible, and that's in theory what we're shooting for here. Another nice big straight run here. $160, $170, $180.
Holy shit, that's a really fast lap.
Looks like about $185.
Mm-hmm.
We momentarily swapped
that was
away, but
just-
the big question is what's
I
going
just
on in
drifted
the
the-
Conan Goals TED drama
Have
here. It looks like Conan,
Nicely done.
well, I was going to say was in position 3,
Thank
but
you.
I do believe we just...
Just gonna throw Tom at Ben and hope that the two of them figure it out.
I'm throwing a Conan at Tom.
is that spacepunies that just snuck through there?
No, that's Tom.
That's Tom? So Knox is up now.
Now I get to follow the fast man.
Let's be honest, you're all the fast men. You were all pretty quick.
125.03. So close.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. There are no brake lights.
Nope.
Speaking of,
Oh, Mount Fuji's so pretty.
It is. This is such a cool racetrack.
Everybody take a chance to look at it when you're going down that straight.
It really is a cool racetrack.
It is, and it's really cool having seen that like 2 weeks ago in person.
What is the name
D-Win.
of the hypothetical hill climb course from Gran Turismo? Is it Fuji Mikado?
I think that's on Forza.
Or is that Forza?
Oh, I do miss that one too.
You know what we need to do? We need to do more Mount Washington
Oh,
hill
yeah.
climb.
That was a good one.
Maybe
Very dangerous.
yeah, so we have a rule, it's a guideline, but a rule on Tonight We Race, which is we do not ask. So our local drivers are obviously driving on our commercial pods, and
for
so
a
they
little
have
while there,
infinite
I thought I
content.
might have had second place.
Our remote
Like, I
drivers,
still might.
we don't ask them to buy more
Oh,
than
no.
one or
Oh,
two
no,
things
no.
a season, and so we'd have to ask people to buy Mount
Don't give up
Washington.
on that, bud.
We're getting the last
BlueFlag,
lap
okay.
indicators here, which means we are running out of time to make the action happen. That might be my favorite noise of the night. Somebody check on Mr. Goat. Is he okay?
I'm I'm behind the car.
Only the Super Formula can make you feel these feelings.
And a 15 Newton meter racing wheel.
The good news is we can always dial it down.
125.1.
So those are good numbers. One more lap. Checking in on Drama Central. 4 seconds behind Ted, but I don't think it's going to happen unless something disastrous happens here. Tom right on his tail. Oh no! It was almost a pickup.
Oh my god, that was the most careful.
And now it's going to be, can I rejoin safely?
Conan did too.
Dude, yeah.
I'm just like, there's no way I'm spinning out on the last lap. I was like, I got
Same.
6 seconds. I'll just take whatever it takes.
Is the drama gone by the time he gets there?
Man,
I just watch it.
saw you go and just like went behind you, trying to.
The drama is now gone.
You gave
I
it
might
to me,
still
and
lose to Mike.
I gave it up.
Good race, Ted. Well
I was on the
done, dude.
curbs, and that's what did me in.
I'm bummed you spun, man. We had something building there. But
Yeah.
great recovery.
I'm just incredibly pleased I was able to get this car across the line. Like after last week's performance.
Finished
That
strong,
was-
almost home.
I needed that. That was good.
Oh my God, Derek! I thought for sure you had me.
That was a hell
Yeah,
of a.
I got a little bit too overeager there.
Somebody keep your results screen up. So
clutch
obviously
instead
we'll
of my
pull it out of
brake
the
and
the replay system. But
Thank you for that.
for the
I
purposes
guess.
of everybody here in the audience, let's make sure we
really
get a
did me
good
in. Then I
replay
spun
here. We're
later
gonna
'cause I had the dirty tires. and I
watch
pushed
Pod
a
1
little too
cross
hard.
the line here.
The only way I can win around you, Tom.
Strong
ones
finish.
Oh, I mean,
Pod 4 has
I'm
results.
still me. I thought I was gonna be able to do this.
That would be BlueFlag, the guy whose pod wasn't working up until 15 minutes ago.
It's all psychological warfare.
Followed by Goals, then Knox, then Conan, and Space
Oh, it's a
Punies.
fun track.
This was.
Oh man.
This will be an interesting
my first
result
lap.
when
We
we
just
tabulate the
quit and go
numbers.
to
But
the
the one
next
thing
one
I can
now?
tell you right now is
There's an
that
intermission
Blue Flag has massively
there's a
increased his
intermission.
lead
Intermission.
over the rest of the field.
Rude.
Let's go ahead and kick everybody out. Get all of our drivers back to the green room, where they are more than welcome to partake of beverages and snark as we advance our show to the next segment. My favorite segment.
Why am I so sweaty?
Why are you so sweaty indeed? Let's go to the deck. Bump. There she blows. The Bring a Trailer Challenge. And actually, Mr. Goat, if you'd like to just hang out right there for a second, because I believe that you were being summoned.
Great.
Shoat, I'll see you in a bit.
Thanks, Shoot.
Welcome.
It's good to see you.
I am so glad you could come on.
Likewise.
I was so worried that. Oh, by the way, so these are not powered mics, so you want to be
Great.
You want to be right up here and just kind of like a kissing distance for these guys. But obviously, put it wherever you want it.
Thank you.
We were so worried after your injury reserve on night one that we weren't going to be able to make it, but you're here. That's great.
Thank you.
We've got everybody here. You've seen this in the previous replays of the show, right? You know, or about
Oh,
the
yeah.
view here. Okay, great.
I think this might be a strength. Rally racing and this. These might be my
all right.
my balancing act.
Well, then, for the sake of the audience, in the Bring a Trailer Challenge, we pull two recent, meaning in the last 48 hours, Bring a Trailer auctions that have been completed, and they have to be real auctions. One, lots of bids, whole 9 yards, no shill bidding here. And we bring those to our drivers, and for 1 league point a night, can you guess which one sold for more money?
All right.
And I thought I would lead with you tonight with probably one of the prettiest challenges I've seen in a while, which is a 2024 Lotus Emira First Edition V6.
Great.
Get my notes out here because I'm definitely going to need to read some notes.
It's like a supercharged Camry motor.
Yes. And according to Geely, the only one they're ever going to make, but I digress.
Oh.
And also, challenging against that is the stunning 2024 Lexus LC500, and this one is, of course, in the convertible trim. Would you like to know about the cars?
Please.
So the Lotus has 1,900 miles on it, so it is just barely broken in. It is, of course, powered by the supercharged 3.5-liter V6, paired with a 6-speed manual transaxle, which is just how we like them. This one's in Seneca Blue Metallic. It's got basically all the options you can possibly put on it, including 20-inch forged wheels and LED lighting and parking sensors and rain sensors, a KEF unique sound system, or UniQ, depending on how you want to pronounce that. This one bought the car in 2025. It now has 1,900 miles on it. It was offered on California dealer consignment at no reserve, comes with the battery charger, owner's manual, and a Montana title, which seems to be very common for cars that are coming on Bring a Trailer. A lot of details on the make and the model here. I think the important part here is that Geely announced that this would be Lotus's final internal combustion only engine car. So to a certain extent, this kind of represents, the last of a line of like incredible naturally aspirated Lotus track-centric cars, although obviously it's road legal here. Nothing in here of detail that I would offer other than in peak trim 400 horse and 310 foot-pounds out of the supercharged V6. So, and something that light, that's quite hefty. The Lexus, not light. However, this 24 LC convertible has 1,000 miles on it, and so not out of break-in. And I think that's important because it is powered by a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 that revs to 7,300 RPM, which is kind of a lot for a V8 unless you're like post-Bangle era BMW. It's mated to a 10-speed automatic, which is, take it or leave it. This is also the car that was famous for being unveiled in the first Black Panther movie as like the virtualized car in the city street chase. I think the LC500 is absolutely, like, it's one of the most gorgeous cars that's come out, full stop. And that particular photo I don't think necessarily does it justice. In this case, offered in Florida with a bespoke build certificate of authenticity that was published on a special type of paper. It's got its window sticker, manufacturer's literature and accessories, clean Carfax, clean New Jersey title. LED lights, door handles are flush, dark chrome trim, ceramic coating was applied in October. Staggered 21-inch forged wheels. It's a 2+2, obviously. It's got the active sport exhaust, and the factory rating on the engine is 471 horse and 398 foot-pounds. So it is obviously a more powerful car than the Lotus, but it is also a considerably heavier car. Lotus, of course, famously from Colin Chapman, whose watchword was "just add lightness," which is words that we still try to live by today, but not Lexus. So at the end of the day, what you need to tell me is which of these two cars went for more money.
Well, they're both Toyota powered. The Lotus wins in my heart for sure, and I think it's also going to win on price.
All right, so your call is the Lotus.
All day.
I'm just gonna poke this just out of the way here so we can see any of the chat here. I do not see any chat votes, and I believe that our drivers have decided to spend their time practicing and not shotgun and bring a trailer. So anything for that competitive advantage. And so, without further ado, the answer is it's the Lexus.
I lost by a lot.
It's the Lexus by a really, really surprising amount.
Yeah.
And I don't have a good answer for you. I went back through this one a couple of times, and the conclusion that I came away with was maybe it's time to own a Lotus First Edition Emira.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like that's really surprising to me. Especially the LC 500 would trip $100,000.
But also like if you look back at the history of the cars, like the Elise was reasonably priced.
Yeah.
The Exige was reasonably priced. The Evora was reasonably priced. This is another reasonably priced Lotus.
The Lotuses have climbed. Like years ago, they were $30K, and they're higher than that now. I've never been in one. It's on my list.
No challenge point for you, unfortunately, but I'm glad you know the format. I would love for you to go and get me spacepunies.
You got it.
Thank you, sir. Maybe it's time for a Lotus. Spacepunies. How's your drive, man?
So frustrating.
What? That's a different response than last week. What happened?
I'm still bad at not spinning out. Oh, and I almost crashed out.
Would you call it a turbo lag issue or just like an aggressive driving issue?
Oh, it's
I feel like it's all there up front.
No, the cargo's light over some of the off-camber corners, and then I keep the same throttle input, and then whoop, goes right on out. So there's that Z-axis that I got to keep on top of as well, which I should have already been with the cold open.
So I've got a challenge for you.
Okay.
And we've got some history in challenges.
Uh-oh.
There's been
No, come on.
Hold on. So I watched the footage last week.
Okay.
And the face of pain you made when that Bronco came up was the most heart-wrenching thing I have seen in forever. And I said, I can't do this to this guy. I can't do this to this guy like 4 weeks in a row.
Strong.
However, I want to show you what we didn't pick for you tonight, which is a Coyote-powered 78 Bronco versus a 2003 G500, or a 351-powered 71 Bronco with an LS-powered 4F100, or any of the other G-Wagons that have been sold within the last 7 days, dude.
What?
Last 7 days.
Dude, New York they're divesting of all of their vehicles.
So I didn't do that to you.
Okay.
But for the record, the G-Wagon would have lost that one, so maybe it's Kismet. So.
Thank you.
Tonight you've got.
From the bottom of my engine oil pan. Thank you for not doing that to me.
You've got a 516-mile example of a 21 Mustang Shelby Super Snake. Or.
About to do a Shelby Super Snake.
A 23 Challenger SRT Hellcat wide-body jailbreak, which is a lot of words. However, if you carve off jailbreak, which just means custom from the factory, everything else is pretty self-explanatory here.
Is jailbreak a factory option?
Jailbreak is their like it's Porsche exclusive or Technique from BMW or whatever the fuck it's called. It's the you want lime green floor mats? We'll do you lime green floor mats.
That is.
You want off-color stitching? We will do you off-color stitching.
Alphabet soup.
Right. So, the Stang.
Okay.
21, 516 miles on it. The engine's barely been warmed up.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it was one of only 98 made for Carroll Shelby's 98th birthday. This is a 5-liter V8, like all good Mustangs, married to a 10-speed automatic transmission with a limited slip diff out back. Kind of disappointing that that's an automatic, but what are you going to do? 20-inch forged wheels, Shelby-specific bodywork, a Shelby-tuned suspension, dual intake Ram air hood, etc., etc., etc. 12-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system. This one is registered in Texas new and was acquired by the selling dealer in January, so very recent. Again, 516 miles. It's offered with its original stickers, clean Texas title, accident-free Carfax report. It's a relatively rare color, carbonized gray metallic. It's got over-the-top stripes, which is cool. 20-inch wheels, Pilot Sport 4S tires, which very practical option as far as performance tires. Like, you can actually drive that in the rain and not die and still be able to drag race with it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't believe them.
It's got the Shelby Performance track handling suspension system, Brembo baked piston calipers, etc., etc. This one has a dashboard plaque letting you know that it is American CSM number 21SS0139. It is the.
Can they face that outwards at the car meets at all?
Oh yeah, no, you got to be able to, like, you have to show that off to the photographers. Here's the scary part. This engine was rated at the factory for 825 horsepower.
Uh-oh.
Which is sent to the rear through the 10-speed automatic on a limited slip.
Watch out, coffee drinkers.
Do not leave the parking lot. Do not leave the parking lot. The Challenger. So again, the Jailbreak Last Call Edition, which means this is the last Hellcat they did of this generation of Challenger. 6.2-liter V8, 8-speed automatic transmission, also on a limited slip, 20-inch wheels everywhere, 2,400 miles, so it's out of break-in, no reserve, clean Carfax, clean California title. This one's got some weird stuff from being a jailbreak. It's got midnight metallic badging, special air catcher headlamps, wide body fenders, aluminum hood, dual air scoops, black vapor chrome, whatever that means, that's the dual exhausts, specialty paint protection film on the front end, the roof, the rear deck lid, the fender flares. This one's on Pirelli P0 all seasons, which I do not think is a great tire. Brembo, Bilstein, heated and ventilated front seats, which is important. Black Laguna leather, Alcantara in lots of places, which I also don't like. 200-mile-an-hour Speedo, 7K RPM tack. This is a 717 horsepower 656 foot-pound Hellcat. Like, that's
For a child.
that's a lot of grunt. And the last call plaque on this one is affixed under the hood.
Okay,
So you have to
okay.
open the hood to show off your special plaque here.
Thinking ahead.
And now you need to tell me which one of these two cars went for more money.
Okay. I'm going to guess the Dodge Challenger is technically a 1 of 1 because the owner got everything like specific for their jailbreak
It's
mode.
bespoke in the way that your very own factory Porsche is bespoke.
In the same way that I myself am a 1 of 1.
There you go.
Yeah, that's definitely the Mustang is more expensive.
Before we lock you in on that, Derek
I'm gonna
says
be very
Derek
sad.
says the Mustang.
Oh, hey, yeah.
That's all the experimental validation you need right
That's
there.
all I need. External validation is all I need.
Let's go see what it is.
Yeah.
It's the Stang by 15 grand.
You and me, Derek. You and me.
And
like this.
So let's do some real talk here for
Okay.
a moment. One of those cars is meant to go around the track pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And the other one is meant to make noise at stoplights.
Specifically on 2nd Avenue.
So yes, sometimes on 2nd Avenue.
Yeah.
Sometimes under criminal indictment.
Yeah.
Sometimes under pain of perjury and no show and bench warrant. But let's be clear here. I don't think that the Belltown Hellcat was the factor giving the Hellcat a bad reputation.
No.
Like, this has always been the drag racer car.
Yeah.
Versus the we're gonna wreck it cars and coffee car. They have lanes, is what I'm saying. They have lanes they like to swim in.
Yeah. My thought process on it was just if once you go too custom, then it becomes less valuable.
I agree
Yeah.
completely. Like your weird coffee colored leather and off stitching, no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna try and get that out of the value on Edmunds. No,
Yeah.
you're not.
Go Hawks. Yeah.
All right.
Not in Denver.
Bring me goals.
Okay.
1 point for you. Where is goals?
Get in. Got it. I'm coming. Woo.
Goals, how was your drive?
Oh boy, a couple of interesting mechanicals, but I needed to have a good session in that car, and I don't know if it was the fact that my throttle dismantled itself the minute I left for practice, or what, but something came together there, and that was the first time I felt really zen in that car and just kind of made it work. I still had an incident.
You're on
but,
Fuji, so that makes a lot of sense.
But all good, yeah.
Tonight, you drew the long straw, and you've got the big numbers.
Okay.
We are starting you off with a 2019 McLaren 570 GT4 race car, which comes with a Futura lowering trailer, which I do not depict here, but I assure you it is a trailer that goes up and down so that you can get your GT4 car on and off it.
Amazing.
And it is paired with, tonight, a Meissen Blue 2022 911 GT3 Touring, the unicorn of unicorns.
Oh boy.
In the, let's say, quote-unquote, normal person affordable Porsche range. The thing that you can do without knowing someone. This is notably a 992 GT3 Touring Edition, not a 991 .2, which is what we talk about more frequently here. Would you like to know about the cars?
Yeah, tell me everything that I don't already know, which is that one of them's a McLaren and one of them's a Porsche.
I do feel like that is a very important piece of data. Let's talk about the McLaren first. 205 miles for a track special. Has it been warmed up? Has it been broken in? Has it ever actually been to a track? At 205 miles, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, that feels like it's not been raced with that amount of mileage.
It's a 2019. It's a 3.8 liter V8 paired to a 7-speed dual clutch, twin turbocharged, of course. Includes aluminum and carbon fiber body paddles, integrated air jacks, 18-inch center lock wheels, air conditioning, which is a bit weird for a race car, carbon fiber front splitter, adjustable rear wing, digital instrument clusters. The twin-axle Futura towing trailer is also included. It is now offered in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Is there a good road course in Fort Lauderdale?
I feel like no. I was like, is there anything there?
Comes with spare parts, car cover, manufacturer certificate of origin, bill of sale, and the car and the trailer. It's built on their carbon fiber monocell 2 chassis. It's got GT4 specific features such as widened track, enlarged carbon fiber front splitter, dive planes, adjustable rear wing, hood latches, ports for the air jack system. It is currently running on racing slicks, so it is not road legal in any way.
Sure.
Two-way adjustable coilovers with anti-lock braking. Exposed carbon fiber cockpit houses a roll cage and 2 racing seats. Central touch screen, a race logic box lap timer, which is very important if you're not going to race your car. And as we mentioned, the Odo reads 205. This was 562 horses from the factory and 443 foot-pound of torque. So a pretty balanced engine, all things considered.
Yeah, a lovely set of numbers.
It also comes with a selection of race clothing.
Was that depicted? There was a photo of that?
All right, so do you remember, like, in like the 80s and 90s, there are like these coffee table books of jet fighters and like all their armaments spread out in front of them in like like a big row.
And there was what was it? There was like F-16 you could get on like Windows 98.
So
or like Apache longbow.
So this is like the car and like all the race clothing light out in front of it, like it's armaments. It's
incredible.
Go find this one. It's fun.
Incredible.
That is matched to the GT3 Touring. I don't know why I am explaining it, because I could do so from memory. This is obviously the engine sourced from the Cup car. It is a 504 horsepower, naturally aspirated, 9,000 RPM redline, married to a 6-speed manual transmission, which is amazing because the manual 911s only come in 7-speed now. This is the car that Porsche made when 911 speculators purchased up all the 911Rs and then sold them for astronomical sums on websites such as Bring a Trailer. And Porsche said, fuck all of you. We are going to remove the exclusivity of the 911R and let people use normal GT3 build slots to produce toned down, no-wing GT3s with manual transmissions. And the 911 Touring, the GT3 Touring was the result. Now, this one obviously has center lock wheels. It has the carbon ceramic brakes. The roof is also carbon fiber. It's got special badging around the back. It's got center GT3 exhaust as per normal. This one comes with the racing buckets, which is not how I recommend you eat a GT3 Touring, but that is definitely one of the options that you can make. Staggered 20-inch and 21-inch wheels. Date codes in 2022. It has, and here's where we're going to start getting ranty. Derek, don't be an asshole, but we'll get to that in a second. No, it is not any accidents, Derek. Only has 596 miles on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which we will come back on camera here to say it does not belong in a museum. It belongs out there driving. It should be on Skyline Drive heading down to frickin' San Jose or Bonnie Doon Winery so you can be like snacking with your pals at 5 p.m. and then coming back up through the sunset on some of the best driving roads in the world. It should not be sitting in someone's garage sipping the miles until the clock has expired and you can sell it on Bring a Trailer for a substantial markup versus what you purchased for it for.
With its color as the first words in its listing title.
Which is, this is of course a paint to sample Mice in Blue, and I've never seen this one personally. So I'm going to be a bit of a contrarian here. I actually don't like the ultralight blues on Porsche. I think that they live best between Miami and Gulf Blue. Neither here nor there. If you're going to do a lighter blue, you need to make it a metallic, and that is not what that is.
Fair enough.
This would not be my choice.
I think it's a pretty nice color, but to each their own.
None of which matters because what you actually have to do is tell me which one of these went for more money.
So my heart wants it to be the McLaren because like every God-fearing child, the car of cars was the F1. And I still love McLaren for doing that then. But I've learned to not bet against the Porsche people. And I think the exclusivity of the GT4 non-road legal tire thing is going to bring its value down, except for a very specific set of buyers. So I'm going to go with the Porsche, and hopefully I'm not wrong.
Of what use is a race car that does not race? That's why I sold my GT3. Let's not be posers. Point being, what do we say? Okay, so we've got no guesses, which is fine.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you up front, you're right.
Hell
However,
yes.
I'm now going to show you how much you're right.
Holy bejesus.
$100,000. And I can tell you a little bit something about GT3 prices. I can tell you that Touring Edition went for Bring a Trailer for $60,000 more than the sticker.
Yeah. Yeah, see, don't bet against Porsche people. It's
and that's a bad color.
Well, as you think.
As I said, that's fair. Colors in the eye of the holder.
Holy Christ, that is a huge difference.
So you got yourself a challenge point. Congratulations.
Yeah. I'll take it. Who do you need?
I need. Who do I need? I need Conan.
That's right.
Oh, buddy. It's going to be a fun race.
Oh, boy. Conan, take a while, please. I need some
It's going to be Spin City.
Conan, I feel bad. You always get the motorcycle challenges.
I mean, why would you feel bad about that? Feel bad about me losing. Give me something that meets the criteria of like, I would like it and I can win.
I think I have something for you here.
Boy. This is going to be really good too, because if you get this wrong, like now we have to fight or something. I don't know.
No, we need to drive
Yes,
or even
right.
race.
Yeah.
Something about tonight. What's the show?
What's the show called again?
Option 1.
Oh,
a 1939 Ford Deluxe Woody station wagon, or
14 motorcycles.
a Bentley Continental that's made out of wood.
The classic Woody or Wood.
Would you like to know about these cars?
Are they cars, really? It's being generous.
I think that what is a car is that's taxonomy and ontology, and we don't do that here.
Yeah, we've learned those lessons.
So that's a 39 Ford Deluxe. The current owner bought it in 2012. It has had work performed since that time, including replacing the starter, the distributor cap and rotor, ignition coil, condenser, points, front spring leaf assembly, and exhaust resonators. The wiring and fuel sender were also repaired, and an alternator conversion was performed, mechanical fan, mechanical coolant temperature gauge replaced, fog lamps, quartz headlight conversion kit installed. It is powered by a 221 cubic inch flathead V8, mated to a 3-speed manual transmission. The car features metallic burgundy finished steel bodywork, wooden coachwork, black vinyl roof, 16-inch wheels, chrome bumpers, sliding rear windows, and an analog clock. It has a banjo steering wheel, which I didn't know that was a thing until we saw this.
Is there a picture of the banjos?
Unfortunately, the rules of the challenge are you only get one
right,
picture.
yeah, okay,
we can go look at it afterwards. It's got a clean Massachusetts title, although it lives in dealer consignment in Connecticut. It has deluxe badging, but we don't know what that means because it is too old. Braking is done via hydraulic drums. Remember that? That was fun. It's got a 100-mile-an-hour speedo, but we think that is aspirational. The 5-digit odometer reads 10K miles, but I think we all know that is a lie, and the total mileage is actually unknown. At factory, it had 85 horsepower new. It's got a 2-barrel carb. It has a driver's helmet distributor, which maybe you can tell me what that is because I have no idea.
No idea.
And it has a mechanical coolant temperature gauge. The other car...
A mechanical coolant temperature gauge is actually just a piece of tube that gets hot that you touch.
Yes,
Ow!
It's
warm.
This is a 1/1 scale model of the 2nd generation Continental GT, created by Olivier de Schrijver, and acquired by the seller, which was Bentley Indianapolis in 2024, from a design firm in Brussels. It has since been displayed on the dealership's showroom floor. It features a sculpted body, an exterior and interior constructed entirely from wood, and it rolls on 2 steel wheels with an actual steerable front axle. Headlights are included over opening doors, a 3-dimensional emblem, diamond pattern grille carvings, and acrylic windows. Previously listed on Bring a Trailer in October 2024, so it only lasted 5 or 6 months before someone had to get rid of it. And we are considering it a rolling sculpture to the joy that is Bentley.
To get rid of it because they couldn't find an arborist to work on it?
There is one question that tells the entire ball game here for this challenge. And my question to you is, do you know what that question is?
No, God, no. Jesus, this is so far out of my realm of expertise. Like it's probably the artist who did it.
So because it is in the notes, I'm obligated to tell you. But so I'm going to ask you a question.
All right.
Do you think it's made of pine? Do you think it's made of balsa?
Mahogany?
Or do you think every cubic inch of it is made from marine-grade recovered teak?
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm gonna go with the wooden display model.
Every cubic inch of that is recovered marine-grade teak. 1,000 pounds of marine-grade teak.
Yeah, I mean, like that's like the best part out that anybody could ever do on a vehicle.
You can turn that into like 50 decks.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's a lot of skateboards. Yeah.
You can turn that into a yacht.
That's a very...
So what's your call?
I'm gonna go with the wooden sculpture.
It
seems like maybe when you get the gimme, you take it. You know.
Actually, I highlighted in here bold. Like I should have written beside it. Make sure you tell Conan about the wood.
Which is 50-50 chance of being something I want to hear about. Let's be honest.
And the answer is.
Yes.
$10,000 for the teak wood.
Finally a win.
Finally a win. Congratulations, Conan.
All it took was the administration putting their hand on the scale, the classic way.
So I didn't even know what the prices were on these until I was like, there's a Woody. That's cool. But what do you match a Woody up with that's any interesting? And then I saw.
Right.
Like, I was prepared to just put this down as a challenge until I read the notes. I was like, there's no fucking way this entire thing is teak. Where do you get that much teak? From recovered marine wood.
Yeah, like I also think that recovered marine wood could also be a euphemism for somebody pushed it out of a boat somewhere.
Conan, thank you.
Thank
One
you.
challenge point for you, and that brings us to, hey, let's get Shote back in the cockpit because we are ready to roll with Feature Race 2. Any surprises?
Teak? Teak? That's a lot of teak.
That's more teak than I have ever seen in one place. Not walking by a yacht at a marina and being like, what the fuck is this?
Ooh.
I couldn't do it. I saw the Coyote Bronco G-Wagon pair and I was like, I can't do this to this man. Not again. Even if he wins, he loses. You can't. The LS powered F-150 was actually kind of cool, but I couldn't find a good partner for it. All right, so Feature Race 2. This may surprise you, but we are still in the Super Formula SF23 tonight for our second race, which is on the Rudskogen Motor Center. Shote, tell me all about it.
Well, they spelled Motor Center weird, but aside from that...
Are you telling me I should have put the umlauts in there?
Well, I mean... Norway's oldest race circuit, which actually doesn't say a whole lot because it was opened in 1990, but...
They're trying.
They're trying. Just over 2 miles long, which, if you remember from the last track, 1.4 miles of straight. Most of that just got crunched up into this.
So what you're saying is they're going to be spending a lot of time accelerating out of corners, which historically has gone very well for this group in the SF23.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So 14 turns, pretty good in that amount of time.
My understanding is that the Motor Center started as a karting track.
Yes, so... When we were looking up the track records for this, we couldn't find any F1 or Super Formula or any of those things.
Because they don't race that there.
Yeah, they don't race that there. But they do race two things that were at the top of the list. One of them is the Porsche Carrera Cup, which clocks in at 124. And so this is the 911 GT3.
So one was a 120, sorry, 111?
The 911 GT4, but the time was 1 minute 24 seconds.
1 minute 24. So
yeah.
1 minute 24, what is effectively a GT3 Cup. All right.
Yeah. But you did mention it was a go-kart race. So a superkart, and we found pictures of what a superkart is, somehow made it around the track faster than the Porsche Carrera Cups.
You're telling me go-karts take the Motor Center faster than GT3 cars?
Yes, 123.
Conan says that go-karts are the fastest vehicles, full stop, and I don't know why I'm acting surprised. I guess I'm doing it for the camera because we did do the research here, obviously, and things have 100 horsepower. 100 horsepower in a go-kart.
Oh, yeah.
Insanity, and a full downforce. It's basically like a tiny, tiny little micro Formula 1 car.
250 cc's in that thing.
Ridiculous.
Somehow made it a second faster.
All right, well then let's bring it to party time. Conan, let's go in advance to the quali and let's make this happen. No, exactly like this. Look, you're conveniently not doing anything anymore.
Here we go.
This will again be a lone qualifier. They will not have to deal with the indignity of being near each other for the 10 minutes of the quali, but they of course only get one hot lap. So
I'm gonna be really bad.
that you need that.
Pop.
I love the damage rewind in iRacing. Little known fact. I don't know if this is a little known fact or not. Like the iRacing team
Brand, it looks like it's
inherits very heavily
in the back
from Papyrus Racing. Papyrus Racing, of course, some would argue being the first real simulation quality racing games on PC back in the 90s, both with IndyCar racing and their first NASCAR title. And speaking as someone who was into both PC gaming and racing in the 90s,
What if they cleaned the track?
the first game where when you crashed into things, pieces flew off of the cars. And so
Whoa.
you didn't actually play the game the race. You played the game to engineer turn one disasters with the AI and just watch the disaster point.
And this was in the 90s?
This is in the 90s. I want to say 93, 94, 95 is kind of that arc of work. They made an IndyCar Racing 2, I think. I don't remember the dates. Point being, yeah, mid-90s. So like the 386, 486, and the beginning of the low-end Pentium era.
Yeah, I'm just imagining that on not even the Voodoo cards at the time, doing that type of simulation.
Yeah, no, that would have been pre-Voodoo, pre-Riva TNT. It was all done in software.
Yeah, wild.
Like not in 1024 by 768, obviously. Like you,
I mean, 640 by 480.
If you wanted frame rate, you were running 320 by 200. But old guys at the front of the room talking about screen resolutions. That's what we've devolved into. Let's watch the cars. How are they doing?
HighMem.sys.
I need to engage high memory. Quick, load a driver. How many bytes would you like in lower memory dedicated to your sound card? Choose now. God, what a disaster. Look, folks, it's no secret. I'm a PC gaming supremacist. I think it is the superior format.
No time
All
for
forms
me.
of gaming are amazing. You should do whatever your budget and the game load allows. But I think the most flexibility is in PC gaming.
too.
PC gaming was
Just
a
barely
goddamn miracle in the 90s. It's amazing anything came out of it at all.
Love more than one.
Never should have come out of the console world.
Yeah, I think quali should be 2 laps because this is a little bit too
I don't know how I made it through the 90s without
dependent on a single
like a
lap.
wagon to wheel my computer
Especially on
around
cold
to
days.
various houses
Very
that we were
temperamental.
playing LAN games on.
Yeah, it takes.
My
is it
sister
more than
could
a
have
lap to get
stolen
the
my
tires
PC
for?
or my N64.
Yeah,
She chose
it's
to
like
steal
3
my
or 4.
N64. This is probably the correct move.
She was playing the long game.
I still don't let her live it down. What am I getting my N64 back?
Okay. Technically got a lap.
It's like we've got
Freaking
With my 110, yeah.
110.6. That
got one ended
Dude, those are like the
qualifier
best
on
I
here.
was able to manage during practice. Don't
That
talk to me
felt-
about 110.
that
Two
felt
ended
good.
qualifier runs here.
Right back.
On this short of a track, it takes like 2 laps at least.
Rudskogen's not very large.
Yeah,
what did we
it's
say that the
like 3
it
laps
was
until
124
they're
was the
fully up to
Carrera
10.
Cup?
Yeah, 123 for the go-karts.
123 for the go-karts, and am I seeing 110s out there? 111s?
A lot of 110s.
Okay.
So we are breaking new ground on a track that was not designed to have this sort of ground broken on it.
I didn't spin at all during the 8 laps of practice, and then I spun immediately on the quali because the tires were cold.
Conan, you can punch the advance. I think we're good to go here.
Oh no.
Is it just going to put me all the way at the back too?
Good luck, everyone. Once again, this one's for points.
Pit lane.
I don't know how it decides the people who don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's go
Waiting
figure out
for
where
initial
to slot
damage
drama
state,
cam
it
in
says.
here.
Like I shouldn't be in 6th.
Mike shouldn't be in first
What
either.
are you thinking? I'm thinking pod 1 is drama cam.
Ouch.
Thomas is
Well, it's
first.
1 or 3.
Goals hasn't gridded in yet. Let's go see what he's up to.
Yeah, I think it's
Tom, the
3.
cut-
That
the
nope,
cut
that's the
pedal's
one
the
right
on the
there.
far left.
This
the
is
brake one in
this
the
is
middle.
what we're here to see.
Thanks for reminding me.
You got it, buddy.
Oh, look, there's an actual
winning, but not
camera
like that.
in geometry up there on that's where my frame rate's going to drifting.
Who's the last person to grid?
Mike hasn't grid up yet.
This is always the most difficult part. sitting here with
Look at
no
those guys.
indicator lights.
Look,
Look, everyone.
Geo, HF.
Off they go. Looks like a relatively clean start. One overtake right off the bat there. Look at that. Into turn one and up. Well,
No.
Sideways.
oh, Jesus. Ooh, right over the top.
Hates the little car.
I'd say that on a track this short, most of the body work is optional.
Awful. Awful.
You just really need tires and an engine.
Straight into a drift.
Goals gets out into clear air. Let's go see what's going on up here. Space
Well,
Puties
not
out there
fun
as
into
part of
turn one,
that
though, bud.
same pack. Going through 10, the gentle elevation changes
getting
making
as
the camera
hard,
on
yeah,
this
it
turns
was.
interesting. I love these S's. These S's make me so happy.
Oh my god, this is so tense.
Then around the big one and on to the straight before the, I guess you could argue that's a decreasing radius or a hairpin. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got this backwards. They're at turn 8. Sorry. Just looking at the wrong track notes.
God.
Oh, dear.
Ooh, 2 off.
It's because they're going
I thought I was
in the
past
other
you, I
direction.
must have just caught like your tire.
I apologize.
Space
for my
Puties into the
tail.
straight.
It's-
Got
I
a
mean, not
little
even
bit of
close
drama
to your
up there.
fault,
He's in
but-
position
but I'm just so
5
disappointed I got you
from the
there.
last update, and he
I
is
thought
no
I gave you more
bumped
than
to
enough
4.
room.
All
and I
right.
was like fully past you on my screen, and then my car just whipped around, and I was like, "What?"
Conan already burning through overtake reserve. Gentle trail breaking through there, picks it back up,
Bummer. I thought I was gonna have another one where I
keeps
got
it
like
settled while kissing the
top half and
apexes,
just stayed clean.
and loses the arrow. You gotta watch the body on
Things you
that
can
one.
say
So
in
much of that
everything in a
force
wet
is
t-shirt
produced by
contest.
ground effect. Didn't lose a whole lot of time for it though.
Ooh, gravel.
Doing a quick survey of the pods. In the 6th position, Mr. Goat catching
How
up
do
to
you take
Yell
this?
Mel. In the 4th position, and right on the heels
Someone
of Michael
stir.
Carr is Space Punies. In position number 2 is Goals. Who's he chasing? Ted? Ted. Is that right? Hate it when they drive with the relative on. Look at the facial expressions.
So
Look,
quiet.
look at the look of concentration. I think this track may be too short for them. I think this is brutal.
Oh, that stinking spot.
20 minutes of this.
I did that in practice every time.
We need to get an environmental sensor down here so we can
There's
detect
like
the
a piece of
carbon
grass
monoxide
right
levels
after
rising.
the exit that I put my wheels in every
All
time.
right, I guess dioxide. None of them are slowly pyrolyzing fires, but... Now, correct me if I'm wrong here now. Conan's in position 2, which means...
Oh my god, I don't understand what just happened.
Well, I was going to
Just
say Goals is in position
fuck
1,
these
but
cars.
he's got some problems here. Oh, there he goes.
108.
He's chasing Tom. He's chasing Blue Flag.
Really smooth.
Yeah, 108
Wouldn't it
fastest
be
lap.
interesting if the car
108,
just suddenly
Jesus.
spooled up really aggressively, but it has never done that at that throttle rate, in that corner, at that gear, at that speed.
I might be better in a naturally aspirated version.
There's no might about it. I would be. It'd be way better.
So this is the matchup to watch here. This is if Conan can manage to take out Blue Flag in this race,
The thing about these
he is
cars
still
make
in
my Fanatec
contention
base,
for
like, wig
the
out, and it
cup.
just constantly flashes the blue chip light. At
And he
1,000
got his
RPM
challenge
directly in
point,
my
which
eyes.
is one of the little unfair advantages of the
Over the
local
lights,
drivers
really
over the remote
annoying me.
drivers
It
is you
just
got to
fell
be in the
off.
studio to get a
Like-
challenge point, and Conan picked his up today.
Like a form of torture.
Ooh.
Right in your eyes as you're trying to concentrate.
Me and my big mouth.
I like this room. People say no, and then you hear a big crash.
So what else is going on out there? Oh my goodness. Whoa. A lot of people coming through right there. Right on the straight, too.
They say you got the course.
Race control would like to speak to you. That cost him a bunch of positions, but one thing we've learned is never count Conan out. He has a special relationship with physics and probability that we do not understand. Goals,
I'm
I
so bummed I had
believe,
another spin. Like, my pace is great, but the gap is just too much now.
still hanging out there in second. Let's see if we can even get a visual on Ted. He's 10 seconds out there. That's probably going to be a negative.
But what if with a 109, just 1 second off of the fastest, still pretty good.
It's totally doable. The problem is he's chasing the fast, consistent guy.
That is
It's
true.
one thing when you're chasing the fast, inconsistent guy or the consistent, slow guy. But one of the joys of being out in front is that pressure just kind of evaporating off of you, and everybody's different, but I tend to drive considerably better when I don't have that gnawing pressure behind me. And one thing that we've seen out of BlueFlag over successive seasons is once he's out in front, he speeds up with that lack of pressure. Now, this is in Season 2, where we've agreed by unanimous consent that there will be no AI drivers in the feature races. It was a different story when they had to maneuver around vicious, snarling attack AIs.
Instead, we're just playing with the overtake button. 2 drivers using overtake right now.
I mean, you're just leaving money on the table if you don't burn 200 seconds of it per race.
Trading spins.
My favorite thing about this car in tight quarters that I learned during development is if you lose it, stay on the hammer so the rear comes back around the direction you actually want to point.
Style crash.
Just keep spinning to those backs until the nose is pointing in the right direction. Big braking there.
Your position
Big braking there on
spacepunies.
There we go.
Rocks everywhere. And every time I got on the gas, it just spun because you were actively putting down fresh rocks in front of me.
Oh, God. Sorry, man.
No, that's fine. I mean, whatever. I'm the one who spun 3 times in a row, unassisted. So you were where you're supposed to be.
It's like Spy Hunter.
I don't know how that crash ended up working out that way. Like,
You like deflected off the wall and your completely broken car went straight on the racing line right in front of me, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be terrible, but the car just stayed straight, and
Nice,
then my wheel went
smooth
back
through
into
there.
position because damage just turned off, and everything was fine.
Excellent hairpin into the straight and big on the brakes.
Did I just leave the car in 4th through that whole section right there?
I feel like all of our big drama moments have kind of resolved themselves. Where do we want to slot in here?
Walk away from it.
The answer is almost always Conan.
Yeah, based on the mini map, looks like everybody kind of spread
Like, I don't know
out
if
a
it's
bit.
just there's not enough like speed to make downforce on this track.
But just close enough for a spin to turn into an overtake.
Like, it's a tough call when you're putting these together, right? Like you want everybody to
I think
have
it's really hard because it doesn't
a
give
racing
that much
experience
downforce
that
in those
feels like
places, so-
only internal factors contributed to their victory or defeat, and not like external factors like I got spun out by another car, or it started to rain at a bad time. On the other hand, unless you're here for time attack mode, you generally want to have multiple race cars on the screen at once. I haven't been to broadcast school, but I'm told that having some form of conflict, as opposed to a man and his facial expressions, is the secret to broadcast success. So we try to.
What is this, a reality show?
we try to find the best in everyone. Some gentle swearing from Pod 4.
It says car stopped ahead, and I let off the gas, and the car just spins on me. It's always fun.
It's like, wait a minute, I'm the car stopped ahead.
I didn't want to be stopped ahead.
Goals pushing. It's a pretty track. It's not like, oh, there's Mount Fuji or anything, but it's a very pretty track.
It's hard to beat Fuji. Because there's only so many racetracks that can put around that mountain.
It's true. Well, are there? It's a lot of mountain. But
way to respond, Ben.
In addition to being the oldest road racing track in Norway, it is also the southernmost, so that they can race 4 more weeks out of the season, which, ooh, goodness. Well, that makes a difference.
Ooh, another one.
Oh, it's me. I'm the accident. That was close.
Keeping it interesting. Holy shit.
That was
How you doing, Goals?
full panic.
I'm okay. You need a new seat.
One thing we have learned this season is the clench moments definitely get everybody in the room, us included. It's almost like humans have been trained to avoid impact.
Just didn't break as much as I have been. That corner.
Note for after session, we need to get the splits ribbon back up under Pod 1's rear view. Looks like it got knocked off somehow.
It was not on last week.
Ah.
We need to add it.
And did we make a note last week to add?
Yes, we did.
That was great. Excellent. System works. We looked at the backlog and we decided that troubleshooting Pod 1's fucking steering wheel was the optimal play there. That's still a mystery to me.
Look, you put things in the backlog, they just disappear.
I really do.
So many other things.
Did not want to have to disassemble a steering wheel this week, but here we are. Welcome to retail, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, some hard driving out there. Look at that.
.1092.
That was
and driving ahead of
I was going to say, Andy's keeping pace on it. And he's just about to come out of that, make the hard right. And that's where people tend to lose it.
Fastest lap 107.
Jesus, who was that?
Good lord, who was that? Good job, Derek.
I don't understand why that happened.
I didn't know which way you were going to crash, and now we're just stuck on each other.
There
we go.
Oh, goes right over it.
That was
Off-road
great. That was great
capabilities. Amazing. And now the proximity alarms are going off. Look at that.
Well, now we got us a race, boys.
Here we go.
God, that completely sucked.
All of a sudden, things got spicy. Dive into the inside, trying to brake harder. Doesn't get him what he wants.
I caught.
You didn't do anything wrong. Your car just
Race
didn't
control
pick a
not
direction
happy
when
with that
crashing,
cut.
and you just got
It just
stuck on
kept
each other.
sliding, and I just kept like catching it and then thinking it was fine, and then it would just.
It was really great for my race points that happened. Oh, well.
Look at him flowing through that slalom like fish.
Now this is pod racing.
Never again.
Ah.
Banned from use.
Jesus Christ, it just locked up on the braking there.
Nice and gentle. This is tough with him stacked up like that. He's going to have to pick his attack very carefully. Or not at all. Oh, no.
Finally.
Well, that's one of the ways to solve the problem. Slightly less complicated equation now.
Jesus Christ.
I think that's at least 3 we killed tonight with
tire off the track.
Commentator's Curse.
It's pretty brutal. Looking at 112s getting turned in here. Still 109.2 is spacepunies best. 108.9 is Goal's best. 108.2 is Conan's best. That's spicy.
So it must be a remote that has the 107.
We've got 4 minutes and 30 seconds left on this race, and this is the moment for people to pull into position if they can. I wonder how much overtake Conan has left.
Flag.
That'd be Dr. Ghoul with a 107.
Look at that.
Looks like, oof.
The good doctor's pretty quick. I am going to be excited to tally the points tonight after the broadcast. Overtake on Conan's pod.
But has 0.8 seconds to give up. Oh, well, I mean.
Also
never mind.
didn't quite have it available at the position where he really needed it, which was the big straight. And now he's pushing pretty wide. Perhaps the red mist is setting in. Pod 1 out there in traffic. I believe that's the compound turn 3-4, and now tucking in for the slalom. My least favorite compound left. Gonna make the right-hand hairpin up here. Pushing a little wide. Next session, we will tell him where the helmet wipe screen button is. That's not what I intend to do, but hello. So, Sushi Dragon.
Still haven't had time to take a look.
All right, so pretend, hang on a sec. So this is a very, very simple small Stream Deck. We've got a much bigger one here on the desk, and then the hardware mixer and all that kind of stuff. Imagine something this size, but built into a glove.
Oh, yeah.
With double the button density. But he's wearing one on each hand, and one on each forearm, and one on each bicep. And he's got a full keyboard strapped to his front, and various input devices strapped to his hips.
That's a lot of buttons.
And all of these things control different compositing and effects and audio tracks. And it's difficult to describe. It's worth. He's still broadcasting. He's one of the streamers from all the way back when I worked there, and he's still going strong. It's like, go check out the Sushi Dragon.
I do not know how you keep track of that many buttons.
It's his legit superpower. It is his legitimate superpower. And it's kind of like configured in a way that even when he fucks it up, it's amazing. Speaking of fucking it up and still being amazing, how are we doing?
Yeah.
We're looking at 110.9 getting turned in. We're looking at 109.1 getting turned in. That last one was his fastest. And he's still picking up time.
No, why?
Ah, yes, the grass on the wheels indicates that something has occurred. 108.9, very nice. 107.9.
Thank you, Ryan.
Conan out there turning in laps and getting black flags. Conan is now moving at a pace where race control is really serious about him slowing down for the penalty. That's unusual for us.
Dang it, Tom, why are you making us do another
There we go,
lap?
we fixed it.
You out here doing parade laps, bud? Bring the track home. Put the track to dead. Watch your rejoin. Going past you.
Trust me, I wish I didn't have to risk another catastrophic spin.
It's going to cost him a position.
Yeah, I just fucking spun and lost 2.
Mike,
That's
no! We had a good thing going.
Not another.
Ooh!
Spacepunies shaves another 10th. And that's a white flag for goals, which means we are coming to the conclusion of this festival. I got to move that button out of the way there. That is not where that button should live. Rest of the white flags coming out. This one's over very shortly. Conan taking a non-traditional line through that corner there.
Well, whoever was just in front of me have to do another lap because they didn't let me.
He
by
wants
him.
that position back. Aggressive through the slalom. Oh,
Good race,
almost
boys.
eats some tail.
Yeah.
Derek, these are set time races. We program practice for over an hour so that people can just hop on when they're ready to go. We program the qualifier for 10 minutes but 1 lap because we're running a show here, not a service, and then 20 minutes for the race. As you know from some flak pack racing leagues, doing lap count-based racing can be somewhat difficult to time occasionally.
That would have been a 108.4 or 108.
No! 1 more lap. God damn it.
Oh, holy shit.
I hate this track.
Due to the
Or at
positioning,
least in this
Conan
car.
not where he wants to be.
That was brutal. I lost 2 positions on the second to last lap.
Yeah, this track is. a
Well, let's
motherfucker.
answer the
I don't
question,
know how I
which
did that
is
without
who
spinning.
took it
I
away?
made a lot of errors that I opened myself up to problems by spinning on the first lap.
It's like
and then
goals
made
ended it
2
in
unenforced
3.
errors like halfway through the race.
Oh my goodness, is that Knox up front, followed by Dr. Gould? This
irked by
changes
that.
everything.
What an upset.
This changes everything.
I am upset.
We're not gonna tabulate the points tonight. We're gonna let you do that at home, but we will have the points tabulated for you
Woof, that was some
before
serious
next
racing.
Wednesday. Congratulations, everyone. That was
That was really good,
intense.
guys. Thanks.
Thank you for coming out for another night of Tonight We Race. Tonight We Race is a community activity. We race, we develop, and we do all of the fun things as a community. And that means, as a member of the community, there is potentially a spot for you. In addition to coming out and being awesome and just watching us be idiots on camera, you are, of course, also welcome to join the Discord and hang out and talk about all things motorsport, motorcycle, and other things with motors, which includes apparently CNC machines. And if you would like a berth in either the local or the remote version of the show in a future season, the Discord is, of course, the place where you figure out how to make that happen. Obviously, we only have 4 local pods here, but we will race remotes up to the limit of iRacing, which is 63. 63 cars, which
It will be great.
which I do not recommend. And so we're going to sign off here for another night. And since we redid all the stream decks, we have a new sign-off. We have a new sign-off performance feature tonight. And I believe it goes desk clean. And then I believe it is kick the outro music. It's kick the outro music. Ooh, look at me getting things right. We will see you next week at 7 p.m. Pacific, where we will enter Night 3 of Tonight We Race Season 2. We will, of course, have the race results up in Discord here shortly with the new standings, and I can't wait. We will see you all next. And then, back it right!
Hooray!
I'm a hero! Everybody okay? You need a medic? Rock and roll. Go grab a beverage. Yeah, do please fix up pod 1. We're going to tear down the audio here, and we are out.